In this video, I'm going to be philosophizing on self-discovery in association specifically with introspection and exposure to positive, new, and different aesthetic experiences. One is inwardly questing and navigating the internalizations of prior existing sensory inputs. Sets of meaningful information are absorbed within mind-body connections that are sent to the preceptors, that the dynamical structuring mind is developing meaning processes that are what the introspections an individual experiences with concern to one's subjective experience, and that is not the self per se, as the self engages the self through the direct and indirect precepts of self. Meaning interpretations are developed as one tries to develop the well-defined sense-making of the subjective experience in association with meaning and affect that's being cultivated, and not the vague affects, the feelings that we can't put words to or that we can't quite connect to a meaningful experience, in contrast to the feelings that we can have more definitive and easier access to knowledge concerning. The allowances for meaningful calibration of the self, and that is most meaningful to the journey within the unknown unknowns, that allow an individual to better recognize the bound conditions an individual is existing in reciprocal dynamical relation to the bounds conditions self is most concerned with the longevity of and the sustainability of, and to also not necessarily hold too tightly to them, and more to be able to explore positively the expanders of mind-body connections that the self is curious and that are not the sources that evoke psychological resistance, as to mean that an individual who's experiencing psychological resistance has overstepped bounds conditions, or is having their bounds conditions violated, and experiencing of negative meaningful emotions cultivates meaningful positive emotions as one's more effectively able to regulate psychological distress, and as one is able to expand positive, new and or different aesthetic experiences within their life, they're able to build on the positivities and experience higher quality positive meaningful emotions that are domain specific, in contrast to moving towards ego balance when one is experiencing psychological distress, and to be able to effectively decrease negativities within one's direct perception, and to effectively cultivate positive, meaningful experiences in association with forward, mobile perception, action, and or behavior one's engaging levagencia, as one's better able to cultivate positive meaning and affect, and to be able to develop the optimisms within one's direct perception. That's all I want to say for this video. Hope you have an awesome one. Keep developing this acepçãodade.